Blades, at its heart, is a pure Elder Scrolls game.
So you can't necessarily go anywhere and do anything. It's a mobile game. You know, we can't put the entire Elder Scrolls on your phone.
Is a pure Elder Scrolls game.
You can't necessarily go anywhere and do anything.
At its heart,
or at least it's not something we want to do, because there's a lot of baggage that comes with that.
Pure Elder Scrolls game.
Have you ever been walking down the beach and you see a nice curvy, beautiful figure up in the distance? You want to maybe get closer, get a nice look at him, just to come find out when they turn around, it's a dude in a Speedo? Yeah, that's Elder Scrolls Blades in a nutshell. So that feeling you just got, that's what a lot of people have been feeling when they're realizing this game isn't exactly what they thought it was when Todd Howard got on the stage at the Bethesda E3 conference. So like you saw in the beginning, he said at its heart, Blades is an Elder Scrolls game, yet in the documentary just released today, there were a lot of things that maybe didn't quite agree with what Todd said almost a year ago. So I'm going to be referring a lot in this video to a documentary made by NoClip of the Bethesda studio, the team that was tasked with creating this mobile game. And before we dig too deep into a little bit of this controversy, I do want to say nothing should reflect negatively on NoClip. They did a great job in terms of the documentary, the questions they asked, getting the footage. The production was really well done. So to NoClip, great job, and you guys did all right. But to the team, and specifically to the people at the top who are giving the orders to that team on how they make this game, there's kind of some weird things going on with Blades. Now, I do make a lot of Blades videos. I love the game. I think it has potential. However, I'm not afraid to maybe poke Bethesda and say, hey, you guys did something pretty stupid, and I think that's what we're going to do in this video. So as you heard from the dev people themselves, and I quote, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, and to put an actual full Elder Scrolls Blades game on the phone, it would be too much baggage, and it's not something that they want to do. It sounds like they're really just more concerned with creating a game that looks like a Bethesda Elder Scrolls game, not one that actually is.
So you can't necessarily go anywhere and do anything. We can't put the entire Elder Scrolls on your phone, because there's a lot of baggage that comes with that.
Over and over again, Bethesda marketed this game as having amazing AAA console quality graphics while we were leading up to the early access. And then in the documentary today, they hammered that same point home over and over again. But now I'm starting to think that that is actually all they cared about. Something at first that seemed like a nice perk to have great visuals in a mobile game seems like that is really what they were going for here. And they thought if they could deliver on this nice graphical fidelity, then all of a sudden we'd be convinced this was an Elder Scrolls game. Meanwhile, everyone has been complaining about the lack of lore, the lack of depth, and everything else that we know Elder Scrolls games for, yet all they wanted to do was deliver on high quality graphics, as they've said over and over again.
It's as big as we can possibly make it with as much detail as we can put into it.
As close to console possible.
Polish it up and start making it look really, really good.
With console quality graphics.
Make it look that good, make it be a AAA console game on your phone.
So you can't really knock Bethesda for wanting better graphics in Blades. I don't think any of us would complain about game companies wanting nicer visuals in their game. However, it seems like Blades was so geared towards these nice graphics that parts of the core mechanics suffered as a result. A lot of the decisions that they made were geared towards the fact that mobile devices have short battery lives, games that are very resource intensive will drain that battery, and they were afraid that if players played Blades for a long period of time, then when the phone overheats, the battery will drain even more.
So yeah, it's an ongoing thing as far as features and how it looks, and then the other issue is performance, battery life, and we can make it look crazy and your battery will run out after 20 minutes. Right. Nobody's gonna like that.
These phones, the latest generation, are super powerful, but not for a long time. Right. They're meant to be used in bursts. Two things happen when you don't do that. They overheat and they use up a lot of battery. So we have to find ways to pace it. So that's why we're trying to keep, let's say, the quest experience not too long, and try to make you move between the different places in the game. So not stay in the town forever, not stay in the quest forever. By doing this, we give the phone a little break, and it's able to cool down.
Those type of technical limitations drove them to create the game so that it would be played in short bursts. They wanted people to log in and do a job or a quest and then log out and play like that throughout the day. Because they wanted to maintain these high graphics, they sacrificed that playability of the game for more than 5 or 10 minutes at a time. I think there are a lot of people that would agree with me that I would much rather have a Blades game that has worse graphics, but I can actually play for several hours on end. It really bothers me that they maintained such high graphics and such great visual fidelity, and then they designed the game on the back end so that we only can play it for 5 minutes at a time before our phones start to melt. I don't think that's the right way to approach the game.
So the team's goal was to balance the role-playing design of your standard Elder Scrolls game with an experience that could be played in bursts, an important element to both the pattern of mobile players and the constraints of the hardware.
I think by far the thing that bugged me the most about this documentary and about the things that Bethesda said was they acted as if the challenges they faced were unique to the mobile gaming scene. They acted almost as if they're the first gaming company that's ever had to deal with short battery lives or overheating phones or limited hardware inside a mobile device. And the way they approached the documentary was explaining how they championed these new ways of being able to put a console quality game, as they said, onto a mobile device. I really don't think that Blades is that great when compared to some other game companies and what they've been able to achieve on just a mobile device. Yes, Blades has really, really good graphics. Sure, the combat's pretty cool. However, there's a little town, a couple dungeons, an abyss, and then you can fight one other person in the arena when that game mode comes out. If you look at other games and other companies such as NetEase or Tencent, you look at Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, Cyber Hunter, Rules of Survival, they have been able to achieve massive battle royale games that are 64 square kilometers, 100 players jumping into a map, guns, long-range combat, physics, explosions, vehicles, shooting out of vehicles at other vehicles while driving over a hill, flying through the air. Some insane stuff that is all happening on a mobile device that you can play for 20, 30 minutes at a time. One game of PUBG Mobile lasts 30 minutes, and some people will play multiple games over and over and over again. Yet Elder Scrolls Blades and Bethesda are talking about how they were able to overcome these challenges for a little dungeon crawling game. Okay, sure, the graphics are nice, but by no means did Bethesda achieve some massive feat here with Elder Scrolls Blades.
Is this gonna run? There's no way this is gonna run on the phone, and then it did.
So at the end of the day, I don't know what I really expected out of Blades. I think they really hyped it up to be more than it truly was. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done. It's still in early access. Anything could happen, but after seeing how they've progressed on the game in the last month, there hasn't been a whole lot. In fact, every update seems to take things away by way of nerfs or fixes or any little exploits we were able to find to actually progress our characters. They're like, nope, never mind, we're going to patch that, but we're not going to give you arena. We're not going to give you like any of this other cool stuff. Visit your friends' towns, make guilds, all that crap. No. We're gonna fix that darn lich shield. That's right. Yeah, no more fancy shields for you guys. Back to grinding the old-fashioned way. That's the crap that they're fixing when there's so many other things that they should be doing with this game. This video, I don't really know. I didn't have a huge purpose for it. I laughed and then I cried when I saw how they talked about the game in this documentary versus how it was talked about on stage all these months ago with Todd Howard. Maybe it was sold to be something more than it really was. Unfortunately, we wanted an Elder Scrolls game, a true Elder Scrolls game on a mobile device, and we didn't quite get that. But hey, at least now when you think of what an Elder Scrolls game really is, I hope that this comes to mind.
Let's make like a rogue game mixed with like Fruit Ninja kind of thing.
Well, what if it's kind of like Fruit Ninja, but more, strategic?
At its heart is a pure Elder Scrolls game.
Kind of like Fruit Ninja.